to throw in the end zone, open receiver, touchdown.
Week 6 of college football is already here, and it's the first time this season that the Big 12 will have a full slate of conference games. Kristen Keith joined by the Big 12 insider himself, Wendell Barnhouse. Let's get things underway, starting with our game of the week. At 2:30 on Saturday, number 25 TCU plays host to 4th-ranked Oklahoma. TCU is ranked 2nd in total defense, so this year looks to be the Horned Frogs' best shot at a win since the last time they beat Oklahoma, which was in 2005. What are the keys to the game for both opponents, Wendell?
Well, the keys to the game are so easy, I can figure it out. Quarterback play for both teams. TCU's Trayvon Boykin has thrown just one interception this season, and Oklahoma's defense really feeds off turnovers and pressuring the quarterback. If Boykin can avoid throwing picks and avoid the Sooners' pass rush with his legs, I think TCU could score some points. Now, the Frogs are similar to OU on defense. They like turnovers, pressuring the quarterback. They'll try to force OU QB Trevor Knight into mistakes. Now, if he can balance the run game with a productive passing game, I think it'll be a long day for TCU.
Also at 2:30 on Saturday, Texas plays host to the most productive offense in the country when 6th-ranked Baylor heads to Austin to face Charlie Strong and the Longhorns.
Well, Texas coach Charlie Strong, I think, nailed it this week when he said the Longhorns can't afford to get into a track meet with Baylor. The Longhorns' defense has been outstanding, but this is their biggest test. This is a lot like last week's Baylor game at Iowa State in that I don't know if UT can keep the score low enough and have their offense stay in the game to beat Baylor.
The Bears are favored in this matchup, but the Longhorns are still sounding off.
Yeah, you know, it's not a good thing to poke the Bear or the Baylor Bears. And I think, looking at what Harris said, he says, well, it's still Baylor and it's still Texas. Well, if that's the case, I think it means that the Bears are going to beat the Longhorns for the 4th time in the last 5 meetings. Now, if UT doesn't walk the walk and pull off the upset, I think Baylor's going to have a lot to say about it after the game.
Let's take a look at that full slate of games for Week 6.
Well, we start off with Texas Tech at Kansas State. Texas Tech committed 16 penalties in the loss on Oklahoma State last week. Kansas State has committed 19 penalties all season. The Wildcats have won 3 in a row in this series, scoring 16 touchdowns with no turnovers. And Iowa State's going to Stillwater to take on Oklahoma State, and the Cyclones need to find a ground game. Iowa State's running backs had 17 yards on 12 carries against Baylor. That's not going to cut it. Look for Cowboys quarterback Dax Garman to test that Iowa State young secondary with deep throws. And Kansas heads to Morgantown with interim coach Clint Bowen in charge, and we'll see if the coaching change helps spark the Jayhawks offense. Now, West Virginia had a week off to prepare for this game, and after losing at KU 31-19 last season, the Mountaineers are going to be in the mood for some revenge.
That's it for Week 6. Wendell will be in Fort Worth Saturday at the OU-TCU game, and I'll be in Austin for Baylor, Texas. We'll have recaps coming to you right after those games. For Wendell Barnhouse, Kristen Keith, we'll see you next week.